Welcome to the Good Games Podcast, episode 179. This is a show where we talk about video games and gamer-related things. My name is Frank from Menso, and I'm your host. And as always, I'm joined by the co-host of the show, Alex Nunez. What's happening, man?
Greetings, sir. I feel like it's been a while, even though it's generally the same amount of time in between when we do these things. But I don't know.
About 1 week.
Yeah, something
7
like
days.
that. Yeah, at least on Earth time.
Yeah, it's about, whoa, how many hours is that? Like 200 and...
Now we're getting too deep in the weeds. Now we gotta cut this off.
Not 200. Oh my God, 168 hours. What the hell's wrong with me? Yeah. It's been about a week since we last spoke, and it's been about a week since we recorded our last episode. Was your Thanksgiving okay?
Yeah, it was really good. You know, get some family over you haven't seen in a while. Eat some good turkey and other types of foods that you only have around this time for whatever reason, because we starve ourselves of these things the entire year until this one day.
Yep.
But yeah, it was great, man. Just, you know, we actually ate early too, kind of. It was like around like 3 or 4 when we ate, which had the interesting side effect of everyone going to bed like at around 8 or 9 p.m., which was fun to watch.
In bed by 8. Yeah, I was, we were talking before we started the episode, and I was reading something that, like, it was very interesting where it stated, like, the correct or appropriate eating time for Thanksgiving dinner, quote unquote, I guess you could call that, even though it's fairly early. Uh-huh. But apparently the correct time to eat Thanksgiving dinner is 4 p.m.
Why is that specific to Thanksgiving dinner, not just dinner in general?
I don't know. I mean, Thanksgiving dinner, I think it's just because there might be there's more people gathered. You know, it's like family and friends or vice versa or whatever. Mm-hmm. And I think you have to just kind of account for people's time. And, like, you know, people might be in certain situations where they're coming just to eat dinner with you, or, you know, you're going to them to eat the dinner and then, like, they have to go, mm-hmm. or, you know, you want to do some Black Thursday shopping right after, or you want to go to sleep, or you got to, it's like something, it's just something to account for people's time, I think,
right,
in that respect. So, you know, I don't think everyone eats dinner at like 4 every day, because that's just a sign of, like, getting old,
I guess. Yeah.
and it's, I don't know, like, that the article is really interesting. I wish I saved it, or saved the link of it, but mm-hmm. it went through a good amount of detail to explain why 4 o'clock is the most appropriate time. It explains why, like, you know, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock is way too early. 4 o'clock is perfect. 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock is way too late, especially 6 o'clock, even though that seems like the best time, but 6 o'clock is way too late. Uh-huh. Because it also went to mention things like you just said, where if you eat at 6, you know, you're gonna, like, be done. Your body's gonna be exhausted in a few hours, mm-hmm. and the whole day is gone already, and you're gonna be in bed by like 9 or 10, and then you're going to sleep through the whole night, and you're going to wake up the next day and you're going to feel like you lost the day because you waited so long to eat, especially with all the people there and all the excitement or whatever. And that also plays a factor too. But yeah, that's all right. Yeah, so I'm done talking about.
I'm just saying, like, the more you talk about it, the more I think, like, what if, like, the conspiracy theorist in my head is all like, what if it's just big brick and mortar stores are putting this article out there to say, like, yo, eat early so you can get in line for these hot deals.
Now, and Black Friday. And the thing is, in that article too, it was like, really, that was one of the things. It was saying, like, you know, if you want to go out there and get some, you know, get online early for the that Thursday sale.
Look how casually they just slipped that in there. You see?
Yes, it's consumerism at its finest. Yes, it is. It was a very, not like a huge reason, but it was one of the more prevalent reasons that was stated, that, you know, if you want to get out there, you know, get a head start in the shopping, right, then, you know, you can do that. I remember one year I did something like that too. It was crazy. I don't know if I'll ever do that again. No. So I was, I'll tell you what happened. So I was, you know, there was one year, it was a long time ago. I was actually still living in New York, and it was years ago. Mm-hmm. But so Thanksgiving Day, you know, a bunch of my friends and we all, you know, had Thanksgiving dinner at our respective places at whatever time. And then we all met up and we drove out to Woodbury Commons, the outlets out there. And we did some shopping. Like, we did some, like, super, like, we waited online. It was cold as fuck, but we waited online for, like, you know, for hours to, like, get into these stores to just try to get some deals on, like, Black Friday sales or whatever. And I remember, like, I waited, like, an hour and a half outside the North Face store to try to, like, get, like, a deal on, like, whatever. You know, like, I didn't exactly know. I didn't have a plan going in, but I just know I wanted something North Face because I didn't own a lot of North Face stuff back then.
And everyone needs to have at least one. Oh,
yeah. I mean, I just recently got a North Face jacket. That's amazing. But anyway, but yeah, I was waiting an hour and a half at the North Face store, and I remember I also waited like another 2 hours. I think it was in front of the Nike store that was out there, the Nike outlet that was out there. And I'm like, God, like, looking back, I'm never doing that again. Like, it was so cold, and there was no point. Even though I do have the North Face jacket that I did eventually get from there, I still have it. But it's like, come on, like, why did I do that?
You could have gotten it other days.
Yeah. The thing is at this point in time, like, online shopping wasn't like such a big craze as it is right now, that you could just like stay home and just click. That's how long ago it was. But it's just, man, yeah. But yeah, 4:00. Okay. 4:00 is apparently the perfect time to eat Thanksgiving dinner. And it also has to do a lot with, like, you know, who's doing what. You know, people watching football, people prepping the food, people waiting for the food. You know, again, all the excitement of the people and the family that are at your house or you at their house, and so on and so forth. And that's what I got from that. That 4:00 is the best time. And at first I'm like, you're stupid. No fucking way. And at the end of the article, I'm like, oh, okay. You know, I see there's a point here. You know, this is I agree with this. This is
plus, if you eat early enough, you might have enough time to get seconds later.
Yeah. Oh my God, dude.
Or thirds, depending on how much you put away.
Yeah, that was me. I went 3 times to get you know, the entrees, and then I went another 2 times for dessert. So,
all right,
I felt really awful, just internally and externally about myself after the fact. But yeah, it was good times. Good times. My stomach felt like it literally had a boulder inside it.
Nice.
At the end of everything,
you succeeded in Thanksgiving mission.
Yeah. Let's give thanks for all the gluttony.
Yeah.
And the slothery that's going on. That happens on that day. But yeah, man. But okay, well, that was just a little thing that I found interesting.
Yeah.
On that time. But I hope your Thanksgiving was good.
I hope yours was as well.
Yeah, it was all right. And I hope everyone else's was as well, because, well, at least people in the States, because if you're not in the States, you don't necessarily celebrate that.
Or if you're in Canada, I hope your Thanksgiving was good like a month ago.
Yeah, isn't it like next year right now for you guys?
But, it's not how time works, Frank, but okay.
Yeah, I know. But all right. So let us start the episode. This is start of the holiday season, I guess you could say.
Man, I gotta say, I was driving by a Fortune Off store. I think it was right after Halloween, and they had already put up their Christmas trees decorations. I was like, you sons of bitches.
God,
it just became Christmas November.
Music. People were playing Christmas music November. It was like November 21st.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Thanksgiving is a few days away. Are you crazy already? People, bigger supermarket chains or like department store chains they already had like Christmas like shit for sale. They didn't put any decorations up really, but
yeah,
maybe like Target. Yeah, you had like Christmas decorations like already up and Christmas shit for sale. And I'm like, God, It's like when I hear that first Christmas song in like any department store I walk into, I'm like, oh, damn it, it's here.
Yep.
It's like right after. It's like Black Friday, like right after you eat dinner. You just let's put the Christmas music on and let's play it for a month straight without stopping. God damn it. So yeah, what have you been playing?
Oh, that's right. Video games. That's right.
Yeah,
that's the thing
that's what we're doing here.
Yeah, I played a couple of things. I guess first of which is a little bit of Tekken 7.
Okay.
As I mentioned last week, somebody gave me the PC version of Tekken 7. I was like, all right, yeah, I haven't played a lot of this, so I gave it a shot, and I was kind of thinking about, let me learn a character. Let me learn Tekken 7. And like, I'm looking at the characters who I want to pick up. I wanted to, like, Steve Fox was really cool. I wanted to see if I would learn him. And then I booted it up, and I'm like, I'm just going to go to what I know. And I just played Hwoarang and just mashed the shit out of the kick buttons. Just the 2 kick buttons, because I don't need no punches, because Hwoarang's just all about them kicks.
Yeah, pretty much. It's like 95%.
Yeah. So that's pretty much what I did. I just played a bunch of ranked, because all I played of Tekken 7 on the PlayStation 4 was just a story mode, basically. And that was it. So here I just like, let me go online, and maybe I'll learn how people play Tekken, and then I'll learn like that. Just going in to see what I need to learn, but I don't know, like I felt like I did okay in the beginning, well, at least on the lower ranks. But after like one session, I already made it to first Dan. I don't know how high that is. I'm sure that's probably like the Silver League equivalent in like Street Fighter 5 or whatever.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I couldn't tell you. I should be able to tell you, but yeah, I don't know.
I know there are like other color levels above the Dans. I don't know when I'm assuming after 10th Dan, maybe that's when like the actual named ranks kick in, and they're like different color tiers, like green tier and yellow tier. But yeah, I hit first Dan in like an hour and a half or something. I was like steamrolling the first like lowest level guys, and then after around like I want to say 3rd or 4th queue is when like I started getting some pushback. People were not taking my shit anymore, and I was like, oh, okay, let me move around and space out, and that's when I started fighting people that weren't just mashing buttons at the beginning of the round. They would like first backdash and create space and do all the weird Tekken wave dashing stuff, which I was surprisingly able to kind of replicate, because I'm playing on hitbox, so like a lot of that movement stuff is pretty easy.
Okay.
So I was just like, yeah, I'm moving around. I look like a Tekken player, and then I go in, I dash in, and try to hit a button. Sometimes I get hit in the face, but I don't know, man. I know Hwoarang is like supposedly an advanced character, but man, I love them kicks. I love just mashing the kicks, and stuff happens, and it's pretty cool. I just like alternating hitting people in the midsection and hitting them in the face with my feet. Occasionally, I will hit them in the ankles just to throw them off, but most of the time it's in the midsection and in the face. But man, when those hits hit in the face, it is very satisfying.
Yeah, Hwoarang's he's pretty beastly, man. He's my like 3rd go-to character. Like but yeah, he's pretty beastly, man. Like I love him a lot. Like I learned a lot of the basics of Tekken from him, from Tekken 3. And yeah, his kicks are ridiculous.
Yep.
Especially like you can literally just hit like the left kick button 4 times and it's a combo, and then the right kick button 4 times, it's a combo, and it's just like, and that's just Tekken. Like back in a button does something, forward in a button does something.
Yeah.
Up in a button does something, and then there's combinations. There's just so many things happening.
Yeah.
With that, so it was good to learn it from a character that was in a way limited, because they were all kicks, but it also made you kind of understand a lot. It made you grasp a lot easier the intricacies of the game. So yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah, and he's super complicated because of all the different stances and stuff. Like if his left foot is in
the left
front,
stance and the right stance, and
flamingo stance.
Yep.
Which I didn't realize at first, but he has an unblockable from Flamingo. And I was like, wait, oh shit, this guy hit me like 4 times while I did this Flamingo kick, and I just bodied him, and that was hilarious.
Oh, is that the one where he lifts his leg like all the way up and around?
No, it's sort of like
and it's like an axe kick?
No, it's not the axe kick. It's sort of like a weird like turn around. It's like a rotating kick, almost like a roundhouse, but from Flamingo's dance.
Okay.
It wasn't that axe kick from overhead. I know that move, but
okay.
Yeah, I wasn't aware that was an unblockable. I was like, oh, hey, that's fucking dope, because, yeah, they just hit me a bunch and nothing happened. So I was like, yeah. Very satisfying. But yeah, that game is hella fun, man. I don't know how far I'll go with it, but I definitely like mashing buttons with it. I don't know if I'll actually try and learn how to do, strings and launchers and, actual combos, wall splats and all that crazy stuff that, is in Tekken. Korean backdashing.
God, the most advanced I've ever gotten into Tekken was, I think, in Tekken Tag 1 or Tekken. I was Tekken 5, and I actually learned the 10-hit combos for a lot of the characters actually. And I'm pretty sure a lot of it still applies, but I just forgot for most of the characters. But yeah, everyone's just very, very deep.
Yeah, and the net play seems okay. I had heard the word delay tech, but I was not aware what that meant until I saw it. I was like, oh, that's what that means. It doesn't use rollback like all these other modern fighting games are using. So if there is any network latency in the match, the screen just pauses for everybody until the network kind of catches up. So it's just this weird pause, and I'm like, oh my god, this is so weird. It happened at a very pivotal moment in one of my matches where I think my opponent whiffed a move, and then I tried to counter it with something else, and I was just waiting. Oh my god! I hope this thing connects. Please connect, game. I want to see this thing connect. Please do it. And then it finally connected. But it was just man, I was in suspense that whole time. But yeah, the tech is weird. But yeah, overall, the network quality is the net play seems pretty good. But other than that, I delved into the wonderful world of assassination, courtesy of Hitman.
Yo, I've been meaning to get into it, man. I will be getting it this week, but yeah, I'm kind of eager to hear so you've been playing the new Game of the Year edition?
Well, sort of. I didn't buy the DLC pack for the Game of the Year edition, so it's just whatever other updates that they provided. Around that. I was kind of surprised to see some new stuff in the game, but primarily the reason I went back into it is because they did the first of the relaunch of the elusive targets, which are the in-game contracts, the in-game targets that only pop up for a certain amount of time, and then you only have one shot at taking them out. And if you attempt it and fail, then that chance is gone forever.
God.
So yeah, I was like, all right, let me do this. And because I had missed most of them, I think I only attempted one, when they were first rolling out, but that was in the Sapienza map, which was the second map in the game, which at that time I was not very familiar with. And I don't remember what happened with that. I'm pretty sure I failed that one, but I have a vague recollection of being in that map and chasing a target that's not one of the main targets from the story mode. But yeah, I took this guy out, and he's in the first map, which I am super familiar with at this point because I put so much time in that first Paris level. But yeah, I was I took him out, and I kept it simple because I don't know, I was kind of scared. But there was a wrinkle that I did not foresee in that hit that I performed because I did the easy method of just poisoning his wine glass with rat poison, which causes the target to run to the bathroom and kind of throw up. Okay. So I was like, all right, he's got a bodyguard with him all the time, so I need to separate him. So I was like, the rat poison is pretty good at doing that. So they run to the bathroom, bodyguard's following, and usually with other targets that I've taken out with this method, the bodyguard stands outside of the bathroom. The guy goes in and closes the bathroom door, and then I can do my dirty work in there. No questions asked. But with this guy, the bathroom door stayed open. I would manually close it, but it would automatically open. And I was like, what the fuck? Because I knew there was a pretty good chance if I started strangling this guy in the bathroom and the bodyguard's back is turned, so maybe he doesn't hear it, but I didn't trust the game system on that level to be okay, this is going to happen purely silently. So I had some scissors in my pocket, and I threw those scissors at the bodyguard, and the man that I was gonna kill, he freaked out, and then I just choked him out and killed him, and stashed his body in the closet, and then I made my way out, and that was how I did that. But I was like, I just was like, fuck, why is this door not closing? This is not going as simply as I wanted it to. And that's kind of where the magic of this game is, you know, finding out ways to work around what the game is providing you, improvising on the spot with what you have on you. And luckily the scissors kill when you throw them. So I was like, yeah, I just have to take them out. Because otherwise you throw something else out. It just knocks them out for a brief amount of time. But yeah, other than that, I went back and I did the elusive target. I did like one of the other missions. I did like the base Paris mission just to make sure I was like cool with the controls. I did like some other challenges that I had left on the table before, and then I did my elusive target. And then I was like, you know what? I haven't spent almost any time on the second map, so I went to Sapienza and, you know, did that mission for a bit. I did it first time, and then I was doing some of the other challenges too. So like I did it the first time just to, you know, get it out of the way, and then try to again chase some of the other challenges, because that's part of like what the fun is for me, is just like trying to see all the different ways that you can take out the targets. And they do such a good job of providing so many fun ways to kill these targets. Because you can do it the lame way. You can just, you know, pull out your silenced pistol when you're secluded with your target or something, and then just pop them in the head. But where's the fun in that? What if I could take this target? One of these targets is he's got a weird relationship with his mom, who I'm pretty sure he strangled his mom to death at some point. And
oh shit! Okay.
It's like, I think that day that you're doing the mission is like, it's like the anniversary of her death or something. And he's ordered flowers. And then if you look outside of the door of the villa where he lives, there's a crashed flower truck, a flower delivery truck. And you can go and take out one of those flower delivery guys and take their outfit, get a bouquet of flowers, and just like go, hey, I'm going to put on some flowers for this dude's mother that he ordered. And they show you in, you put the flowers on there, and then they call the guy like, hey, the flowers are here. You can, you know, say some words to your mom. And he does that, and he asks for complete privacy. So all his bodyguards are away, and I'm like, yes, I got him where I want him. And then I'm there and just watching him, and I'm listening to him say these things to his mom, and I'm like, this is weird. And then eventually I kill him. And then thankfully there's a wood chipper nearby. And I put that guy in the wood chipper, and then I turn it on, and then I leave. And everyone's like, "Where's Silvio? Where did he go? He was there talking to his mom. What happened to?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm a ghost. No one saw what happened." It's that game is so much fun, man. There's so many other things too that I want to do in that level. When I started one of those missions, there's a golf ball in my safe house, and I was like, "It's an exploding golf ball." I was like, "Oh shit, this guy is taking golf lessons today. Let me put this shit on
that's
the
awesome,
green."
Though.
Oh man,
that's crazy.
There's so many inventive things in there.
What if I were to replace one of his golf balls with this one?
The best part is I set everything up, and like his golf instructor came over and like showing him what he needed to do, and the guy's all like winding up the swing, and I'm there like watching. I'm like, all right, let's see this happen. And then he does like the swing, and he's like, oh wait, and the instructor's like, nope, you got to fix your form. And I'm like, come on, guys, come on, I want to see it happen.
That's cool. Like,
They know, those guys know what they're doing, man. That is
that's pretty cool.
It is a remarkable game. I love just messing with all the peoples, and it's so good, man. It's so good. I was kind of reminded of like why I became like enraptured with Metal Gear Solid in the first place, and that was a lot of it just playing that Metal Gear Solid 2 demo
just
over and over
around
again and fucking with those guards. And this game is that like times 100. It is fucking insane.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. I did that with the Metal Gear Solid 2 demo so much.
I know, right? So good.
Fucking with all those guards, like in so many different ways.
Mm-hmm. And then the Sapienza map is like so fucking huge. I thought like the Paris map was big because it's just like this huge mansion. But the Sapienza is like, it's this Italian coastal villa, but it's not only just the villa, it's like the entire town surrounding that villa. And and I just found out the other day that there's like this complex sort of like sewer system beneath the town that you can kind of gain access to and like see. I guess you can access different buildings from there, and there's just so much going on. There's like a church tower that you can get access to, I guess, to potentially snipe your target if you can get them in position. But yeah, there's a lot going on there. I don't know if this was part of the Game of the Year update, but there are these. So the Sapienza map takes place in Italy, and there's a sewer system there, you've got some plumbers working on the sewer system. One of them wears all red, and the other one wears all green. And they've got some challenges tied to that. So I was like, wait, what the fuck? I was not aware that this existed, but yeah, they basically have like Mario and Luigi shoutouts in this fucking game. And I was like, okay, game. And I became the red plumber, but I don't know if there's anything special you can do as either the red or the green plumber, but it was just silly to see that exists. I was like, wait, what? Okay, guys. You guys may be having too much fun here, but I'm not going to object at all. Because I am benefiting greatly from all this lunacy that you've put into the game. But yeah, I need to spend more time with Hitman because all of it is just so goddamn good. It's so good. Other than that, I've been playing one more thing, Frank.
Uh-oh, one more. God, you've been busy.
Yeah, a little bit. I played a game called Doki Doki Literature Club.
Okay.
Now, on the face of it,
Doki Doki.
This game looks like your run-of-the-mill, boilerplate kind of Japanese anime, like dating sim, visual novel game. Mm-hmm. But it is much more than that. This game takes a turn. I had heard of this game, and I don't know if this is me projecting or something, but it seems the way people were talking about it, they're talking about like this twist that happens partway through the game, and to me it sounded almost like a Frog Fractions thing where like the game completely changes genre or whatever. But it's not quite that like dramatic of a shift. It takes a shift in tone, like maybe the genre of like the themes, or like that changes, but the gameplay is you're still playing a Japanese like dating sim style visual novel. Okay. So you're reading a whole lot of text. And I gotta say, like, I think the whole game took me about like 4 hours to beat, but I want to say like the majority of that time you were just playing a dating sim visual novel. And it takes a while for like the true game to reveal itself. So I say that as a warning for people who are like turned off by this type of game. This is primarily that kind of game until it is not that kind of game.
Oh, okay.
So there's a whole lot of setup. I kind of wish there wasn't as much setup, but I think you need at least some kind of setup. You need to have like some kind of foundation, especially you need a connection with the characters in order for what they pull off later in the game to kind of land correctly. And it's one of those games where I feel like I shouldn't talk too much about it. I gotta speak almost around it, but most of those types of games, they're kind of fantasies, right? It's like you're this person that is surrounded by all these pretty girls in this weird situation in this game. You are joining a literature club in school, and you're kind of talked into it by one of your friends. And by happenstance, like all the people or all the members of the club are these cute anime girls. Who would have thunk? And they're all fawning after you. And it's like You kind of have to fight them off with a stick practically. And then the game gets super real. And I was like, holy shit. I was not expecting that from this game. Well, I was expecting something, but just from the pre-hype about it. But at first it gets real, and then it gets, I don't know, it's...
it gets like realer than real?
No, it gets weird. It's like a weird, almost like postmodern deconstruction of the genre, I feel. It's like, I was reading something about the creator, and he said part of the reason that he made this game was that he had a weird, I guess, a relationship with anime or these anime type games. Like he had almost like a love-hate relationship with them. Mm-hmm. So it was like, I don't know if a lot of this is just, taking like pot shots at these types of games or just trying to make them something more. But yeah, it's a fucking trip for sure. They break the fourth wall.
It sounds like it would totally do that, especially with the way you were describing the relationship between the developer and anime.
Yeah.
So.
But it also goes like, again, all these games are kind of cutesy and like whatever, aloof. But this game, it goes dark places. And there's actually like warnings when you start the game as if you, because if you suffer from anxiety or depression, like maybe you should not play this game. And I can kind of see where that's coming from, because it kind of take those themes and almost takes them to their natural conclusion, let's say. And there's some like actual like dark imagery too, in the later parts of the game. So yeah, it's like, it's definitely, I don't know if they were like trying to trick people that like these types of games and then just like throw them this curveball. But yeah, I don't know. It was kind of interesting playing this. I'm still like trying to wrap my head around like what they were trying to say with this game, because at first I thought it was going one way, and then they were doing more things, and it was like, I'm not sure exactly what we're going for. But I was also I will say though, I was reminded a bit of Undertale as well, because they do some crazy stuff towards the end of that game. So there were some parallels there, at least in terms of what they were doing like on a macro level. But yeah, there's some crazy stuff here. But again, like a lot of it, you have to like just wade through all this like anime, just like, oh, these girls, there's this one like really shy girl, and you gotta talk her into being, more secure with herself and stuff like that. And there's this like younger, like aggressive girl. She's, basically Chie from Persona 4, and she's all in your face and assertive and everything. And just all those tropes are there and they exist, and you have to wade through a lot of that to get to the meat of what this game is. But I don't know. I thought it was at the very least, it was very interesting. I'm still thinking about it, like what the hell was going on in that game. And they do some interesting things that not a lot of games do, but I feel like there have been some similar things done before. But yeah, like Doki Doki Literature Club is a fucking weird thing if you are at all interested. It's also short, so... Oh, and the other thing is also free. You can download for free. It's a PC game, but you can pretty much run it on, anything. It's just pictures of anime girls, and you have to read a whole bunch of text and occasionally make a decision with the mouse cursor. That's pretty much it. But yeah, it's I know it's available on Steam directly, and you can also get it on itch.io.
Okay.
But man, it's a fucking weird thing, man.
Oh dear, I'm torn. It's free. And I could just literally get it like right now as we record. But,
yes.
But
yeah, all that bubbly anime stuff is can be off-putting. I understand.
It's not even that. It's just the style of game it is.
All the text. Yeah, it's like a lot of it's super linear. Like you barely are making choices or doing things. There is one thing like at the I think at the end of every day you're supposed to like write a poem that you like read, and the gameplay mechanic for writing the poem is just picking a bunch of words. I think you have to pick like 20 words, and each word you pick will kind of impress one of the girls that are in your literature club. And I guess the goal is, you want to, in these types of games, you want to impress one girl over the other so that, you can get, you can date them or whatever. And that's how, that's like the only other gameplay thing in there aside from, the crazy stuff at the end there. But yeah, this, it's a trip for sure. It's a dark trip.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's not for everybody for sure. But, yeah, if you are at all interested, definitely check that out.
Okay.
But that's kind of what I've been playing this week. I'm all over the place.
You've been busy, man.
Yeah.
Very much so.
Kicking people in the face.
Fighting game to like a stealth game, a stealth action game.
And then anime girls.
To a visual novel style game with anime girls. Awesome.
I'm eclectic if nothing else.
Well, all right, that's pretty cool.
What you been doing with your game time?
Well, I've actually been pretty busy myself. Just on a side note, I beat Cuphead finally.
Congrats.
Thanks. I devoted like maybe about an hour to like trying to beat the final two bosses. Which, God, so hard. It's so hard. The second to last boss is King Dice, the one that's sending you after all the contracts, and it's a roulette styled boss battle. So basically, you have a roulette board, and you have to, if you land, basically you have to like parry this die that's like rotating constantly.
Okay.
And it's just very deep with the whole like roulette, because if you land on a certain number, you fight a certain boss, and then you have to navigate the board as safely as possible, and then there are some spots on the board where you get life back. And so it gives you incentive to like not exactly just fly through the board. And yeah, it's pretty cool. But last boss was the devil. Super fucking hard. God damn it. Like there's literally a point in the battle, like right before the end of the battle, where you have to get hit. Like you have to get hit multiple times.
Wow.
In order to like, yeah, like it is inescapable.
Okay.
Like it's unavoidable. You have to get hit. So
okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. So a little bit of luck though, I was able to pull it off. And there are 2 separate endings to the game too. Like it's kind of like the whole like the choice at the end of the game. Like, do you choose to join me or do you choose to fight me? Because if you're not with me, you're against me. So I watched both endings, and yeah. So
but which one was your ending?
Well, the true ending is the one where basically, because the game you're supposed to get these contracts for the devil, and that's how you get out of the whole gambling trouble that you got yourself into.
Right.
So at the end of the game, he asks you, he's like, are you going to give me the contracts that I asked you for, or are you going to, not give me the contracts? Hand them over and we'll be good. If you don't hand them over, well, we're going to have problems. And so the true ending is when you don't hand over the contracts, because you choose to save all of the bosses that you've defeated. And then you have to fight the devil in order to like, you have to fight the devil for the souls that you've taken, essentially. So yeah, when you do, it's obvious what happens when you beat the devil. But yeah, when you don't, it's kind of like, like the whole Streets of Rage type of ending, or like there's another more classic game that I'm forgetting.
So if you give him the contract, you don't have to fight the devil?
Yeah, if you give him the contracts, you don't have to fight the devil, but that means your souls are his. So it's the bad ending. Okay. So you don't have to fight that boss battle at the end, but it's clearly the bad ending. So gotcha. Yeah. But yes, I've been playing Cuphead. I beat it. I've been playing some more Fightcade with some peoples. Okay. And I've been having a lot of fun with that. I played a lot of Third Strike yesterday. That was a lot of fun. That room is always on and popping in there, man. There's always like at least 100 people in there.
People love that game.
So, oh yeah, the game is fantastic. And then, so the actual games that I've been like spending a lot more time with this week. So first off, I've been playing Hollow Knight after your recommendation.
Yeah, okay.
And so Hollow Knight, I'm not going to talk too much about it because you already went into detail about it, but I like Hollow Knight a lot. I just feel like it's a little too... I feel like because you were saying like the game is like something like 20 hours, 40 hours long. Is that correct?
According to how long to beat, it's like 40 hours long. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So in playing it, I like a lot of the mechanics. It's a Metroidvania. I really dig that. I feel like that time length is too much for the game though. Like it's that to me doesn't like fit quite right with the Metroidvania game. It's supposed to be something that's like, 8-10 hours, like 8-10 hours, like max. Like even Ori and the Blind Forest, which is pretty extensive, was it's like a 6-hour game, like a 6 to 8 hour game, and if this game is 40 hours, I'm like, I don't know if I have the endurance for this. Like, it seems like it's too much. And the thing is, if there were a lot of like, to me, it's not as dense as I'd like it to be, as far as like getting the abilities and the artifacts and meeting all the different bugs and all of that stuff. I feel like I need more incentive, and the game to me doesn't quite have that incentive for me. I've been playing the game for, I believe, 8 hours.
Yeah, it feels like the incentive is more about, or the game is centered around just pure exploration.
Exactly. And that's fine and all, but I mean, but then it just gets to a point where it's like, what's the point? Like, you're exploring all of this stuff. Great, fantastic, but 40 hours worth? I'm good. You know, I like to feel like I'm getting somewhere after playing the game for a few hours at a time. But the thing is, though, that's while it's a big complaint for me, it's my only complaint. I think the game by itself is really good, and if it was sort of condensed into a shorter experience, with more things happening, with more exciting things happening to push you forward, then I feel like this game would be a complete winner. You know, but the length, they maybe should have practiced a little more restraint with the length. And because I feel like I played the game for 2 or 3 hours and I did nothing. You know,
it takes a super long while to get going because you're like pretty much stuck in that first area, and or at least it took me, because again I was avoiding that one boss fight. But you have to get that ability to even get to the next area, and it's just it is a slow starter, but I think that is just the pace of that game. It is just kind of slow, but I think it's deliberately so. Like, they don't want. Again, it's just all about, you know.
It really wants you to take your time with it. Whereas I don't know if taking your time lends itself well to a game of this style. You know, exploration, great, but you know, there have been games that have come before it that are in the same genre that also encourage a lot of exploration, but can do it in a much faster time frame. You know, and I feel like this is. That length is really it really kind of kills it for me. But the game is good. Yeah, the game is really good. It's got the mechanics are solid. And when you do finally get abilities, you know, you can, you know, it feels like, okay, yeah, like you wake up, you're like, all right, now let's go get some more abilities. But you realize, I think I'm realizing that it's going to be like another like 4 hours before I can get another ability, if that. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, I don't know about this. Like, I don't know if I have it in me to really explore it through it all. And especially when you die, you know, like I feel like crushed sometimes, because when you die and you don't get to a safe point, you're like, oh my God, I have to like go through like a whole fucking hour's worth of platforming. And I'm like, I don't know if I have it in me for this. I don't know if I want to do this anymore today, at least, you know? So, but Hollow Knight's legit. I will say it's a legit game, but the length of time is kind of like, all right, like it really makes you think, if you really that's what you're really all about, and you're willing to spend 40 hours exploring a Metroidvania style game. I just don't think that time lends itself well to this style. So yeah, but I like Hollow Knight enough. I just wish it was shorter, a lot shorter. So.
Yeah, I appreciate what it's doing. But yeah, like I get in those situations where like, oh, I lost so much progress, and I'm like, maybe I'll play another day, then
another game, or maybe I'll play this another time. You know, yeah, totally. That's how I feel about it.
It's got some like fucking crazy highs, and I've seen that already in like my first 10 hours of that game, and it's just like, man, I how much more of that is in there. But it's just like finding
it's got some interesting stuff in it. It's got some of the customization options that you have with the nodes, and the some of the boss battles, and like some of the boss battles are like really interesting too, with like the other characters, like the characters that are a lot like you. Yeah, like I fought against that girl, like the girl character, the one with the blade that she can extend.
Yeah, Hornet.
Yes, her. I fought her, and I really liked that battle. That battle was really interesting. And I was just like, okay, like I like this stuff, but there's just so far in between. Yeah. You know? And I'm like, come on. The pacing is just really poor. and slow, and I'm like,
But again, I think that's exactly what they're going for, and that's kind of what I appreciate about it. Because again, like I said last time, like every other Metroidvania seems to be going for something completely different, and this is another example of that. And I personally like that slower, deliberate style. It kind of gets you more acclimated to the world and to like the gameplay mechanics, because they're not constantly giving you new abilities that you have to, add to your repertoire. But yeah, I can definitely see to the opposite of like why you're being so frustrated, because you're not being doled these things out that you are looking for.
Yeah, and it's just like, I've gotten used to. I have gotten used to like being getting special abilities like to a point like where it became like I look forward to getting all of these new abilities because I want to be able to use these new abilities to explore new places. But to this and exploration, yes, there's a ton of it here. But with this, it's like, I've encountered there are so many places.
Yeah.
That I've been to that I can't get to because I don't have the ability, and I'm not going to get that ability for another couple of hours. And I'm like, oh. And then you have to. I mean, hey, yeah, you're gonna really memorize the maps, and and I have on that one ability that shows you where you are in the map at all times. I'm like, I can't. I'm like, I can't. I need to know where I am, because this is not like this is like I'm not. Maybe I'm not that old school, but I need to know where I am. Like this is I can't be that kind of person where it's like, yeah, you're just looking at the map. You're looking at the map as if you were looking at a real map, and just determine where you are.
Yeah,
like you'll know where you are eventually if you go through it enough times.
Or like, I was just near this save point. That's where I came in. All right, let me trace my way back from here.
Right, but also it's also another thing that wastes an ability on the nodes, that you have to like equip that, where it shows you like all the save points and all the stores and all of that stuff. So
no, those are just things you buy. Those aren't like those aren't tied to the charm system.
Oh, right. Sorry, that's true. But
the compass is the one of the things that shows you where you are on the map. That does consume a slot.
Yeah, I need that. I do.
I will say, in my almost 10 hours of the game, I think I have a total of like 3 special abilities. So don't feel bad.
What? Like again, like Ori and the Blind Forest is that long. Like the entire game is that long. Like I think the first playthrough will probably take you like 7 hours. It's just like, and you get a ton of abilities. Like you get a ton of abilities, there's excitement and there's platforming and it's all good and it's hard.
But there's no exploration, or very little of it, because like it tells you where to go. The map is pretty much like given to you. But
in Ori and the Blind Forest, the map is huge. The world is large. It's really big, and you can do a lot of exploration in way less time.
I don't feel like it's super big, because I felt, even when I was playing it, it felt like I could, like what looks far on the map is pretty like quick to get to from like where I am to where I need to go. And I'm like, oh man, it's going to take me like 15 minutes at least. I'm like, nope, 2 minutes later. I'm there.
No, it's not like that. That's that scale. And especially when they finally allow for fast travel and the special edition, that it made it seem you could complete the game a lot faster.
Yeah,
in that sense. But yeah, it was never. I think as far as scale goes, I thought every area was pretty big. As far as scale went, and it's also like the same. It's also the same like in Castlevania Symphony of the Night, where it's like I felt like each area was fairly large for what it had, but like this game to me, and also this game, like the areas don't seem that large to me. Like,
wow,
or
really?
they seem about as large as they look on the map. Like I'm able to case like an entire area. Like I've been to like I've been to like 4 areas, right now. But in that one, I guess I'm still in like one world, and I have yet to get to like another world, I should say. But like I've been to like 4 different areas.
Have you been to places where have you been to places where the color palette changes?
Yes.
Okay.
So like I think I've been to like the green place, and then the red. I think there's a red place and a blue place, and there's another place.
Okay.
But I've been to all these places, and they don't seem that large to me. Like they seem about as large as any of the other games that I've mentioned, and I'm like, well, this is great. I just feel like there was just more happening within, when you're inside those areas. Like, yeah, you can explore all you want, but what if you just don't have the ability that you need to get to certain areas, just to complete 100% the area, or to complete the map in that regard? And I'm like, I need better pacing when it comes to this type of game. I feel like faster is better. It lends itself better to this kind of game. But
I wouldn't say that, but I can see your point.
Yeah, I'm saying that.
I can have it both ways. I can have a quicker pace, but I can appreciate the slower pace of Hollow Knight.
Yeah, I need it to be faster and more actiony. The enemies though, the enemies are like, I feel like the enemies are interesting enough where you can you have to like really use a little bit of strategy when it comes to like certain groupings of enemies, especially when you encounter the newer enemies. And then there's this enemy that just encounters like a jellyfish kind of enemy. I'm sure you've encountered, where you destroy it. It's easy to kill. But the fucking grenades that it launches at you are homing grenades that it launches at you after you kill it. And I'm like, fuck.
Like a fucking laser beam. Like, holy shit. God damn.
And then, but if you kill it from the top instead of from the bottom, it's a lot easier to avoid the grenades. But it's really? Just like, I
haven't even tried that.
Yeah, at least that's what I've discovered. I mean, they still home in on you, but like, because the angle is a little bit more troubling for them. Yeah. To get a beat on you with. So I find that killing them from the top works a lot easier. The thing is, I can't really get that high because I don't have a whole lot of abilities. Because it looks like there's an ability that I have yet to get, which looks like a wall jump ability. Yeah. Where it looks like I need that in a lot of places, but I just don't have it yet. And I feel like that ability would help a great deal with killing like those enemies or any other enemy, or getting to higher places. But yeah, I feel like I'm like 6 hours away.
Something like that. Yeah, I usually kill those jellyfish motherfuckers and then put a block between us so that it intercepts the grenade for me.
Oh, okay. Okay. I also have that. I have that ability that when you're absorbing, when you're absorbing soul or when you're charging soul, that it creates it creates the shield.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I feel I use that a lot with those kinds of enemies too.
Okay.
Where like I'll kill them, I'll land, and then I'll charge, and then the grenade will hit me, but the shield will take the damage.
Oh, so, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
I actually have never even messed with that ability.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's sort of useful in situations like that where it's like really hard, where it's like a really quick retaliation from all of those enemies. That it works, but that shield, they explicitly state that shield is not unbreakable.
Yeah.
And you could, like, if there's too much damage, the shield will get destroyed. Mm-hmm. So, but yeah, it works with the grenades for me. So, yeah, it's something to consider.
Nice.
But yeah, Hollow Knight's legit. I just wish it were better paced,
or faster paced, because better is not always faster, in my opinion.
Yeah, but so the second game I've been playing is Injustice 2.
Wait, what the fuck?
Yeah,
for real?
Yeah, I picked up Injustice 2.
Frank, you know the turtles aren't in there yet, right?
I know. They're coming though. They're coming. Okay. They're coming. I'm just getting ready.
All right.
I'm just getting ready. I mean, they're coming, and I'll be right there when they do arrive. I'll be right there.
Bandana ready on your face.
Yeah, it'll be. I'll be there.
Okay,
I'll be there when they're there. I'm just getting ready. But yeah, I was able to pick up Injustice 2. They were having like a crazy sale on Injustice 2 actually this past holiday weekend. And yeah, it was something like $15 or $20 for Injustice 2.
Wow.
Yeah, like everywhere.
But just base Injustice 2?
Yeah, just base. Base Injustice 2. But I mean, that's still ridiculous. So but I was able to actually pick up the game for like $7. Good old GameStop. I had a gift card. And I was just like, I haven't used a gift card in like almost a year. but yeah, I was able to pick up Injustice 2 for like $7. So I was like, yeah, sure, okay. So I got Injustice 2 and I started playing it, and I gotta say, like, the tutorial is pretty. I'm like, I've never played Injustice before, ever. And
what about Mortal Kombat? The new Mortal Kombat, you play that?
A little bit. So I see the similarity. But yeah, Injustice 2, I did a tutorial, and I'm like, all right, yes, okay, I can dig it for the most part. I gotta still get used to the combo system. It's a little janky for me right now.
I still can't get around it. Like, my problem is always like, I want to dash up and do a combo, and then my timing is always bad because I expect the dial a combo thing to work, and it's just like, nope, you gotta time that button press. I'm like, fuck.
Yeah, you have to know it's, and that's what I kind of appreciate about it. It's like you have to kind of like know what comes after. Like, you can't just like mash or dial a combo, and it's like it's timing based. It's like straight up like all links, like with this game.
Not all links. There's a lot of strings. I feel like you just there's a lot of combos are just like, okay, 1, 2, 3, and then it'll come out. But starting it is where I think the problem is. Where you have to time it is when you start it, especially if you're coming out of another move or something.
Yeah, but that's true. But yeah. So so playing the tutorial, I was like, all right, cool. And then I decided to dive into story mode in Injustice 2. And I gotta say, story mode's really good.
Right? It's like
the story mode's really good.
It's like the best story mode in fighting games.
I think so. I was engaged. It was like a lot of shit happening. The story was actually good, and you get to use all these different characters, and there was like a lot of action, and I'm like, oh, you have choices where you can like choose one character or the other. I'm surprised. I think I like Black Canary a whole lot.
Right. I want to learn her, man, but she's
I do too.
Base and shit. But
I like the counter system, man. I'm like, that's fucking dope. I feel like a boss whenever I land a counter. I'm like, yo. Yep. This is tight. But yeah, like
coming pop.
Yeah. Predictable. But yeah, I speaking of which, Mr. Geese Howard's coming in a few days.
So
Tekken
soon.
7. So
oh my God.
So just remember that.
Pretzel moves are coming into Tekken. That's just bananas.
Yeah, I never thought I'd see the day. but yeah, no, I really enjoy Justice 2's story mode. I haven't gotten that far. I think I'm on chapter 4 right now. But
what character is it at?
I actually might still be on chapter 3. I'm still with Green Arrow and Black Canary.
Okay.
Yeah, and Gorilla Grodd. That whole thing. I just beat Gorilla Grodd, and now I'm on the next section. But
okay.
Yeah, but I like chapter 2. I liked Harley Quinn. I think she's pretty cool too.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, I don't really like Batman all that much. I thought I would like him a little more. I don't.
Oh, really?
Yeah, no, not really. I think he's a little lame in this game.
Okay.
And then Superman, it's sort of the same with Superman. I didn't really like him too much. But I think he's better than Batman as far as that goes.
Are you aware?
I like Supergirl a whole lot.
Are you aware of what happened in the first game?
Well, I know the story of Injustice.
Okay.
So yeah, I am aware of what's going on.
Gotcha.
But outside of that, I've done a couple of trials with some of the characters, like characters that I feel like I would like to play with. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so Black Canary is like the one I've been like, I want to really learn you. Whereas the other characters, Green Arrow, actually, I like him too. He's pretty cool.
Yeah, I like Green Arrow too a lot.
But yeah, like I feel like it's kind of like taken me for surprise. Like I've been a little surprised that I'm like, I thought I'd like these characters and I really kind of don't. And the characters that I thought that I wouldn't really have anything to do with, I kind of like them.
Right, yeah. I had the same reaction to the first game. Like, I thought it would be like all over Batman at first, but he didn't jive with me at first, but eventually I came back around towards him.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, it makes me want to pick up the first one, actually, and just kind of like, fuck around with it. But I feel like, why bother? It's like taking a step back because the second one's already out and stuff.
Yeah, especially graphically, it's like a huge step back. Oh my God. It's so hard to go back to now.
Yeah, that I was afraid of that, and I feel like that's definitely the case with this. But yeah, also no turtles, so why bother? But yeah, I'm totally looking forward to them.
But you got Lobo in the first one at least.
Yeah,
I don't know if that's a consolation or not.
He's Lobo. I feel like Lobo's had his time. Like Lobo. I feel like a lot of people are like, yeah, I should get Lobo and everything. But I'm like, I feel like Lobo's kind of, nobody cares anymore.
We should get Mr. Mix's Spitlick in Injustice 2.
He'd win the game. He'd win the game. Like, that's just not fair. To have a character like that in the game.
It would be dope. It's so much fun.
If he was like anything, if he was like the boss in any sort of way, then I'd understand. But like, it doesn't make sense to put him in the game. Because he'd win. He'd win everything. But yeah, I mean, he could literally rewrite the events of Injustice, so it all never happened.
Okay.
If he wanted to. So I'm like, no, it's not. It's not fair. So. But yeah, I'm liking Injustice 2. I'm liking the story mode. I haven't taken the game online or anything like that. But I feel like I'm going to spend a lot more time with the single player mode first. Yeah. And I feel like this is not a game that I want to play like competitively. Maybe like for fun. Yeah. If like someone's like, oh yeah, you want to play some Injustice for fun? It's like, we don't know what the hell we're doing, but why the fuck not? Let's just kill some time. It's like, sure. Whereas like any other fighting game for the most part where it's like, all right, I think I kind of know what I'm doing. So let's just, play, not just for fun, a little more competitively than that. But this is a game I'm literally like, I don't care what happens. Like just
not until the Turtles come out, at least.
Oh, well. And, then it might be a different story.
Engage try hard mode.
Yeah, well, I feel like this game is good, and I feel like it might be blasphemy to say it, but I feel like this game is definitely good for like just for playing for fun and not giving a shit about what's happening. Like it's just like a giant fan service game for me. Yeah, where it's like DC Comics characters just going at it, and I'm like, all right, yeah, sure.
Especially with how much time you have to sink into fighting games to like actually be somewhat good with them. It's like it's a tough thing to like make that decision to cross over from casual play to let's be serious now.
Yeah. With Injustice, I just don't feel that drive? Hunger. Yeah, I don't feel that hunger or drive to want to get good at it. I just feel like I'm just like whatever. Yeah, let's play Superman versus Batman or whatever. Like I don't give a shit. I just feel like playing it for fun, and that's just all it is for me. Yeah. But I like the game. I like the game enough, though. I feel like it's gonna be. I feel like it's a legit game, and I can see why it's very much featured in fighting game tournaments in Evo, especially whereas I don't think to me the reason why, and it's the last thing I'll say about it, the reason why I feel like I don't feel that drive is because I feel like the combo system isn't that deep. Like it feels like to me very simple, but it's simple enough. It's complicated enough that you can kind of like, if you get a good grasp on what you're doing and you find out all the interesting little like combos and like starters for each character, then you can kind of like see, oh, maybe there's a little something to the game, but then it doesn't really last past a whole lot of it. To me, it feels like to me again, the whole like jank of it all kind of like feels like, all right, it's a little limiting. Whereas you have other games where it's like there's really a lot more intricacies to the game. Like it's definitely not like as intricate as like Guilty Gear. is, or Blaze Blue. Blaze Blue is like way more fucking complicated than Guilty Gear, but it's just like Injustice 2 is just like simple enough that I feel like I could just have fun with it and not go nothing past that. You know? So.
Yeah, I feel like the Japanese games are maybe a little like more open-ended in terms of their systems, but like something like Injustice is more reliant on existing or pre-made strings and then combining those together with the special moves and all that. But I mean, the game is like super combo and juggle heavy. Like you can do all kinds of crazy shit. If you
I wouldn't have gotten that.
Like, look at pro level play, man. Like
I've seen enough videos where I'm just like, how?
Yeah.
I'm like, how? Like, what?
I was playing with some people from like my fighting game Discord, and just jumping in like casually just to mash buttons with somebody, and they're playing Supergirl and throwing out some like crazy fucking corner combos, and I'm just like,
yeah, she's pretty good.
I just put the controller down because I can't do anything right now. I was like, God damn. Yeah. But yeah, there's some crazy shit you can do, especially in the corner. But yeah, that game is Juggle City. That's the name of Injustice 2.
Oh, I see. I would have never like really like if I had never seen like any pro play and I would have like played the game. At first, I would have never even thought. Like I feel like yeah, you can juggle a little bit, but then it's just like it kind of just stops. But maybe it's just like just gotta time those button presses right.
Yeah,
I guess it just opens up a new world from there. Yeah, I feel like I don't really want to go that far into the rabbit hole.
I think I'm there with you. I don't know if I'm going to fully engage on that level.
Yeah, but it's a game to just pick. I think it's a good fighting game to like pick up and just play, just for the hell of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's all I've got for Injustice 2. That's all I've been playing this week. And that's all we've been playing this week. And so we're going to move into headlines. And before we do, you should go to InnerCityGeeks.com so you can follow along with us. And first up, so Ubisoft has released a new game called Ode. And it's from the creators of the Grow Home games. And you're like, wait, didn't really hear anything about this. Well, the reason why that is because the game was announced on the same day that it released. So that's why you've probably heard nothing about this game at all. But it is a game that came out a few days ago, and it is I believe it is $5 on the Ubisoft Uplay service. And basically the game is described as a musical experimentation game where you're like, or a musical puzzle game, I guess you could say, where it's like you're in like this open world kind of environment, and you're with a lot of the things that you do in the game, like anything that you interact with in the game has like a musical element to it. And also, you also have like visual elements to it as well, but kind of like just music and exploration, and it seems pretty cool to me. It seems like something I would play. So yeah, that's out. Well, I mean, what do you think about this?
It looks cool, but I don't know. Again, I feel like I see a lot of these trailers, and I think we mentioned something like about their last game too. But like, it looks cool, but I don't know how it necessarily plays, or like what else you're doing in the game world. I don't know. It feels like something you need to get your hands on to get a full grasp of. But like visually and like the music aspect, it sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, it definitely seems. To me, it looks like a game where it's kind of like one of those just kind of like sit back and just do whatever. Just see where your imagination takes you, and they just offer these elements for you to work with, and so maybe you can create songs or musicals or symphonies even do just like going through the game in a certain fashion,
or it's just a musical playground type of deal where you're just activating different nodes and things happen, and it's like, oh wow, this is cool.
Just mess around, and it seems that's the type of game it seems like to me. But it definitely seems like something I'd play. I like the music and I like the games, so why not? Sure. I'll definitely try to give this a shot. Yeah, it's available on Ubisoft's Uplay service, and it's $5. And yes, it came out a few days ago, and it was announced the same day that it released. So, sounds like something that interests you. You can go out and get it right now. And moving along, so Destiny 2 has made the news in a big way.
Oh, has it?
Yeah. So Bungie has been pretty transparent with its player base as far as, I guess keeping them up to speed with updates or anything having to do with any in-game content or just pretty much things in general. That Bungie has been pretty transparent with people, with the player base, with people, because I don't know. I don't know what they're doing, but basically, one of the things what we're referring to is that apparently the value to level up in the game was always supposedly checked at 80,000 experience points. Now, apparently, they're saying that the correct value is 160,000 experience points, and that's kind of sketch because Bungie they pretty much like came out of nowhere and just said like, oh yeah, so it's not 80,000 anymore. It's actually 160,000. We were gonna tell you, but you found out anyway. So yeah, now you know. And everyone's like, what the fuck? People are like fucking flipping out about this and so many other things that Bungie has been kind of like really sketchy about with Destiny 2's rollout. And like the whole like hashtag 2 tokens in a blue, that whole thing was that whole thing was kind of like what? So one of the community managers actually promised that a new event would be the most rewarding event yet, and they revealed what the end game was, what the prize was, and they opened up a chest and they received 2 tokens and a common blue engram, which spurned the hashtag 2 tokens in a blue.
Man, I saw that stream live and I was.
Oh, you did? Oh no,
that happened, and I'm like, my hand just connected directly with my forehead. I was like, guys, you should know this is a bad look. Everyone's pissed off with the end game as it is. People don't like the tokens, and you just gave them an extra token as a thing that, like, hey, this is the most rewarding thing we've put in the game.
Yeah, they've been pretty. Yeah, it's and apparently Bungie has been like this also with their own employees that have helped with developing the game, and they're just being like super like secretive and like just withholding all of this information unnecessarily so. And yeah. It's been a whole kind of to do since Destiny 2 rolled out. And I mean, this has been happening apparently since the first Destiny. But yeah, this is I mean, it's making the news again because of what's been going down recently. I mean, you're the Destiny player out of us. What do you have to say with all of this, really?
I'm just so like disappointed. I don't know. I feel like a disappointed dad, and Bungie is my son. They're my teenage son. They're constantly getting in trouble in school, and the equivalent of what just happened this week is like, oh, my son just got arrested for the first time, and I'm just like, God damn it, you idiot! I knew this was gonna happen eventually, but fuck, I kind of hoped it didn't happen. But so to rewind a little bit, yeah, a lot of people been in the past couple weeks, and I think I kind of mentioned about the end game of Destiny 2 not being super satisfying right now.
Right.
And a lot of people in the community are kind of, mad about it. Some people are, making kind of entitled posts on like the subreddits, and I'm sure other places as well, being like, this is unacceptable, blah, blah, blah. And I don't necessarily agree with that kind of verbiage, but I understand the frustration that, people want to play this game all the time. Or that they want to be able to do the things and have a reason to do them, and there's not much reason to do.
There's no incentive.
The things, to do in the game, and that's why, people there, Bungie had set up these streams in the weeks leading up to the new DLC update, and the last week's stream where the most rewarding, events in Destiny or whatever the hell they called it, the lead up to that was, as a result, coming on the heels of, people complaining about hey, the end game is not great, and them saying hey, we're going to give you more rewards, and then the rewards are just more crap that we don't want because the tokens are I like the tokens. I don't have a problem with tokens directly, but the fact that the tokens are the only way to get things, and the tokens are basically just RNG. You get enough tokens, you cash them in for a loot box essentially. Right. And you have no way of directly buying the thing that you want. If you're missing one thing in a set, let me just buy that one thing. If, make the economy work around that. Don't make tokens the only thing. Make it a supplemental thing, but not the only way that you can get things or buy things in the game. But yeah, people have been up in arms for a while on Destiny 2, and, Bungie's kind of been tight-lipped. They have mentioned that they are making changes to the end game, but when that happens, we're not really we're not going to know anytime soon because they're working on it, and they won't say anything until they have something ready to show or to talk about.
No, they won't.
Yeah, that's the frustrating thing is people are complaining or trying to communicate a lot with Bungie, but they are very slow to react or to talk back, because pretty much the main way that they communicate with the community is through their This Week at Bungie blog post, which happens every Thursday or so. And sometimes they will avoid, some of the hot topics of what's going on in the community. Sometimes they will pay lip service to it, but not really provide any concrete information, but hey, we're supposed to be they're working on it. But then the whole XP thing came about because somebody on Reddit was I guess digging deep, and that is, I think, a little more notorious because they don't surface that information in the game, really. There is an XP bar at the bottom of your screen, and anytime you earn XP, you are told how much XP you are gaining, but you're never told in-game how much XP you need to get the level up.
To get to the next level, right.
You just have the visual bar, and that's it. Right. I guess unless you went into the API, but not a lot of people are going to do that. But yeah, apparently they had a system in place that scaled XP. If you were farming public events, they would scale down the XP that you were gaining, if you had, done too many public events or something, just so you don't, earn too many bright engrams, too fast. Which after you complete the level cap, after you get to level 20 in Destiny, you still earn XP, you still level up, quote unquote. But every time you level up, you're getting a bright engram, which is essentially just another loot box that gives you only cosmetic items. So it's not like you're getting, anything of value in terms of weapons or power sets or anything that gives you more power to do other things in the game. It's just, the cool, emotes and other things like that. But yeah, apparently if you were farming different things, the XP that appeared on the screen was not actually the amount of XP you were earning in the game, which was what? That's kind of fucked up. But they kind of got caught with their hand in the cookie jar, as it were, and then they said okay, hey, this is not working out. We don't like the feedback that we're getting or whatever, and only because they were kind of called out on it, and
only because they got caught. Yeah,
it's kind of a shitty thing that they're directly lying, and that's kind of been their MO for a while. Not necessarily the lying, but the obfuscating of information. They don't seem to to put a lot of numbers on the screen in terms of stuff like gun stats or things like that. That you hardly see those numbers in the game. It's just visual bars and yeah, and it's just weird they don't show the amount of XP it takes to earn the next level in the game. It feels like they're trying to cater too much to casual people, or they're just trying to, I don't know. It feels like they're talking down to almost to people sometimes.
Everybody.
Because they're oh, this is the simpler way. This is better for everybody. But there are people out there that want to know these things, and it's why are you just hiding this information? But it's just Yeah, now the fact that they're lying about it is when it feels really shitty, like directly, like, okay, you're not giving us the XP that you say you are in the game, and it's like, that's just, I don't know, man. Just disappointed is really where it is, man.
It's kind of hard to get behind something like that.
Yeah,
especially like when, I mean, you know, you can still shoot stuff, and you know the game still runs really well and all that stuff, but when the incentives start to become when the incentives start to become like a little like less and less, and then you know you have the corporation behind the game like withholding information from you, it's like, well,
yeah,
I can move on to other things. Like this sucks.
Yeah, like at that point they're just disrespecting people's time because like, hey, I'm trying to do this thing and I see what I need to do to get this thing, and you're just like, nope, it's such a shitty thing. Like, I don't, and like I don't know where to point the finger. Like I don't know if it's like a Bungie thing or if it's an Activision thing or if it's something that they came up together. I don't know. It's shitty all around.
Yeah,
and I know we're recording it a little early today or this week, but by the time you hear this, Bungie will have put out a blog post kind of detailing some things about this whole event. They said they were going to have some statements, I guess, from like Luke Smith, who was the director of Destiny 2, who's kind of been silent ever since, you know, pretty much Destiny 2 came out. He was just like, okay, put Destiny 2 out, and my job is done. So we don't have to hear from them again. So it was kind of cool to hear that they're coming back to kind of address these things since this kind of happened on their watch. But it'll be interesting to see. And by the time you hear this, I mean, that information will be out there, so you can go to Bungie.net and see what happened there. But I would like to know what exactly their statements are on the matter and what happens from there, because I know people are fucking livid about this game. They've been livid before, and now this is like, it's kind of like the straw that breaks the camel's back. Yeah,
this is the pot blowing its top right now.
But hey, Curse of Osiris is coming out next week, guys. Are you excited? Yay!
I don't know. It might be less people than you think.
Yeah. It's a bad, and they also launched a free trial for Destiny 2, which coincidence, but I know that has probably been in the works for a long time. It's just shitty timing with how all this happened. But hey, if you guys didn't, you know, lie to your users beforehand, this would never have happened.
Mm-hmm.
But here we are.
Yeah. It's pretty shitty.
Yeah,
pretty shitty. So, all right. Moving on into other shitty news.
It's a shitty week, man.
Yeah, it's been not so great week. Let's just say that the news from here on out is not going to get better. So get ready. So Gazillion, the developer behind, the publisher behind the Marvel Heroes Omega game that is currently out, they pretty much laid off almost all of its employees yesterday. And, well, not pretty much laid off. They did lay off most of their employees. And I say yesterday, sorry, it was a week ago.
Yeah.
As you're listening to this. So, yeah. They had already announced the plans to kind of like stop production of the game by the end of the year. But things happened a little earlier than expected, and now, most of their employees are jobless, and they took to Twitter. A lot of them took to Twitter to kind of like vent about it, and it is pretty shitty. Like some of them said, like they thought that they would at least have to the end of the year, or they thought that on top of having a job through the end of the year, that they would at least have severance or have PTO time paid out, and none of that. It was a clean break.
Jesus.
And a lot of people are, So that kind of sucks. Do you have anything to say?
No, it's just a terrible thing to happen, especially right before Thanksgiving. That's fucking shady as shit.
The day before Thanksgiving was when a lot of it happened. So
yeah. Yeah, I'm kind of curious, like what was going on behind the scenes. I don't know. I mean, Disney has kind of been behind some of these weird terminations. I don't know if it's something on their end or if it's just gazillions.
I think it's kind of. I think it kind of is on Disney's end. If anything, it's like a mega corporation, and they are ruthless. Like it's happiest place on earth, and it's one of the biggest like corporations in the world. But they are ruthless. Like if it's like something is not working or if something doesn't work their way, they have no problem. Like just get rid of it, just get rid of it all, and just move on to the next thing. It's crazy.
But it's also very shitty that Gazillion is not doing right by their employees by giving them at least what they're owed in terms of like vacation pay and all that. Just
nope, none of that.
That is bullshit.
None of that.
I smell a lawsuit coming on.
Yeah, I mean, it is definitely up to the employees to see if it's worth pursuing one. Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's still shitty news all the way around.
Yeah.
All right. So in other news, well, it's not better, but it's to me it's a little funny. So Epic Games is suing more Fortnite cheaters. This is something that's kind of like been. It's been news for about a month now, maybe a little more than a month now. But one of the people that they're suing two people. They filed a suit against two people, and one of the people that they're suing is a minor. He's 14 years old. And the funny thing to me, at least, about this whole thing is that there are two things that are funny about this whole thing to me. Okay, the first thing is that the person in question, the minor had their mom write a sternly worded letter to Epic regarding why they shouldn't sue her son because he's a minor and so on and so forth. And the letter is here if you wanna read it, and it's a little legalese, but it's it's still like, come on, dude. And the second thing, which makes the first thing even more funny, is that Epic gave the kid a chance to hey, like cease and desist, like stop what you're doing, because he basically what's been going on is that these people have been creating software to exploit the game, to exploit and a mode in the game, the Battle Royale game mode in the game. And they developed this software based off of the game's code. So, Epic told this kid, like, hey, we know what you're doing. Why don't you just stop? Just don't do it. And the kid's like, nah. And
well, to be clear, the kid didn't make the software. He was just using it. He found it online. He was using
the software. So he actually filed a counterclaim against Epic to basically say, like, I'm not in the wrong. Like, I'm using the cheat, but people cheat all the time, and I'm not doing anything wrong. So, and this is based on the counterclaim was because he advertised his exploit on his YouTube channel, and then when they filed the claim against him, the DMCA, the takedown claim, he filed a counterclaim, and then now it's developed into this whole thing where now he's actually being legit sued by the publisher. So, yeah, I don't feel sorry for this kid at all, because that's super arrogant, and that's like, he straight up says, like, that I cheat for fun. The cheat is available everywhere, and I don't cheat to win or to get good at the game. I just cheat for fun. I do it all for fun. I'm not trying to ruin the community in any way for fun. And, again, sure, whatever. You're kind of right in that respect, where it's like, people do cheat a lot when it comes to certain things, but it's just like, if they're telling you that maybe you're in violation of something, just shut the fuck up and take the shit down and, just comply. But he's like, nah, Nah, I'm good.
I mean, why should
I'm not in the wrong here. Yeah, of course. But then he filed a counterclaim, and I'm like, oh, okay. And now he's being legit sued.
That I think is a bridge too far. I don't agree with Epic suing somebody
suing
for
him
just
outright.
Using cheats. Like that's stupid. Like fucking ban him, but they're like taking him to court and suing somebody for using a cheat. That's ridiculous.
He did like I said, he did have a point, but he also did have a chance to kind of like just like, all right, you know what, I'll stop. I'll stop. And yeah, that was kind of a hard swing when he filed the counterclaim claiming that he's not in the wrong, that he's in the right. And that's kind of a hard swing for Epic to take, where it's like, all right, we're going to just sue you outright. So we're going to sue you for like $150,000, I think. And now, the kid's like, oh, well, I didn't do anything wrong. And now his mom wrote the letter. And I'm just kind of like, I just want to kind of see how this whole thing shakes out. Because this is interesting. And he is 14. He's 14 years old. He had his mom write a letter to Epic, and he claims that he is like completely in the right on this. So for cheating. So yeah, this is gonna be something interesting.
I think this is great. I think this kid is he's going to go places in life. It'll be fantastic.
Well, we will see. We will see.
Just the fact that Epic is fucking suing cheaters is stupid. Just dumb. Like, why?
Yo, they're going hard. They're going hard.
Fucking dumb.
They don't want anybody cheating in their games, man.
That is ridiculous.
They're going mad hard.
Fuck the ban hammer. We're using the gavel on you guys.
Yeah, we are going to go after your money. We've been going after your money with DLC. Now we're going to go after your pockets literally in court. Yeah.
Fucking unbelievable. What is this world coming to?
I don't know. I kind of want to see how this all shakes out, because this is interesting.
I'm personally rooting for the kid.
Okay. On principle, I'm not rooting for the kid, but I hope that the kid doesn't get sued for $150,000 for using an exploit. Like that is a little ridiculous. I agree with that respect, but on principle, like, yo, kid, shut the fuck up. Just stop. just you had a chance to back out and you didn't, and
there's no reason for him to stop.
Unfortunately, look where it got you.
They're not stopping him from playing the game. Epic is fully able to make that happen. They're letting him play the game. And they know he's cheating.
Well, do we know that for a fact? Like, is he still actually allowed to play the game?
That I have no idea. I don't know if that's the case right now, but that would seem like the first logical step is, hey, let's just ban this account. We know they're cheating.
Yeah, and there's a lot we don't know. Maybe they did. Maybe they did stop him, or they did stop him from playing the game, and he still kept going with it. Now, I'm not saying it's right for them to, straight up sue him for that much money at the very least. And then, but at the same time, we don't know the whole story. I
don't think it's right to sue him, period, for anything.
Yeah.
This is just silly. Companies are going beyond their boundaries. This is just dumb.
Yep. But all right, so and damn it, why? So and more not so great news. So Demon's Souls, the game that has made its name on being super fucking difficult. Demon's Souls and Dark Souls games are like super fucking hard, but they're so good. But their servers are shutting down. And the title of the article says that they're shutting down, removing part of what made the game great. And one thing that I do remember from the DLC for Dark Souls 3, which made like news everywhere, was the Iron Monk battle. I believe the old monk battle, the old monk encounter, which was pretty cool, because basically what the old monk encounter was that you fought against another player. And, you know, aside from the other things that you could do while in the whole like online aspect of the game, the online world of the game, where it's like you can examine how players died through like blood stains, and you could like kind of like phase in and out with you have other players phasing in and out with you while you're going on your journey, and so on and so forth. The old monk battle was like legit, because they have a video of it here, and I watched it and I was like, holy shit, that's awesome. Because you fight against another player, like the other player is like the boss for you, and it's really cool because it's like, holy shit, it's like kind of like a battle of like wits, and you're just like legit taking on another person that's like, you know, just as has been through the game just like you have, and knows all of like the ins and outs, and it's just like, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, the servers are shutting down, unfortunately. And I don't know, like they're saying like this is like the beginning of the end for the game. Well, I'm not sure if that's the case, but it kind of sucks.
No.
What do you think about this?
It's like the fate of pretty much every online game. Eventually, it will disappear, or you know, parts of it will. It's not a completely online game, but a lot of it's, you know, the features of, you know, leaving the messages behind and all that. That is, you know, based on the online part of the game.
Mm-hmm.
I just the only hope really is that, you know, there are some intrepid people out there that are maybe able to reverse engineer like the server stuff and can maybe host that stuff offline just for preservation's sake, to, you know, like, hey, this is what the game was like. But I don't know, I feel like it would be impossible to get that data, or it would be a huge undertaking to make that happen. But I can only hope, man, that you know, that it's such like an intrinsic part of that game that made it kind of magical, I feel like. And that's just me kind of looking on from the outside. But yeah, it's a sad day. But again, all these online games eventually have to get shut down because servers cost money and all that.
Yeah. I just hope. I mean, hopefully this will like try to get people to play the game, to get more people to play the game before it all kind of goes in that direction.
Yeah.
But yeah.
One last hurrah.
Right. Yeah. I gotta play the other Dark Souls games that I haven't played yet. But yeah, so that's it. That's it for headlines this week. We are gonna move into new and upcoming releases, and Alex is gonna tell us what we have to look forward to. So please go ahead.
Yeah. So this week, for the week of November 28th, first up we've got Soma coming out for the Xbox One. Black Mirror is coming out for the PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC.
Huh?
No, that is not based on the Netflix series of the same name. Apparently,
okay.
And I had to read the press release about this because I was confused myself. But there was a Black Mirror game franchise back in like 2004 that this is essentially a reboot of. There was like, I think 3 games of Black Mirror back in the day, and now they're restarting from the beginnings, I guess. So, yeah, that is now out this week.
Okay.
Again, nothing to do with the Netflix show, which is a good show.
Yeah, great show.
Also out this week is Resident Evil Revelations Collection for the Nintendo Switch.
Whoa.
Star Ocean: The Last Hope is now out for PlayStation 4 and PC. Mujo is available now for the Switch, as is Opus: The Day We Found Earth for the Switch. Serial Cleaner for the Switch. Star Ghost also for the Switch. Siberia 2 again for the Switch. And finally, Traverse USA Arcade Archives Neo Geo once more for the Switch. Switch is getting all the games this week.
Yep.
And then we have a couple of Friday releases this week. First of which is Xenoblade Chronicles 2 for the Switch.
Yep.
Doom VFR is coming out for PlayStation VR and the Vive. Do you know what the F in VFR stands for, Frank?
I want to say what everybody's thinking, but please tell us what it actually stands for.
VFR stands, or the F in VFR stands for the same thing that it stands for in BFG, the big fucking gun in Doom. This is Doom Virtual Fucking Reality.
Yes.
Staying on brand. I love that they did that.
Oh, God.
Also out on Friday this week is Gear.Club Unlimited for the Nintendo Switch, Skyforce Reloaded for the Xbox One, and finally, Blue Angels Aerobatic Flight Simulator for the Xbox One. And that is going to do it for all our new releases for this week, and I guess this month, because this next week is another month. The last month of the year, even.
Yes, it is.
Crazy.
We got a lot of stuff happening next month too. In fact, in a couple of weeks. In fact, next week, actually. Well, no, actually, the week after we'll be able to cover it on the week after. But got a big event happening, so got to cover that.
Yeah,
but actually, it might be two big events if it's
too many
yearly,
events.
If it's the same as it's been the past 2 years, then we're gonna have two big events to cover. In the same episode. So, but yeah, that's it. We're done with this episode. So before we officially go, we would like you to visit innercitygeeks.com if you haven't done so already, which is where we are located, where we have a bunch of stuff sometimes regarding everything geek. You can go to our YouTube channel and subscribe to it as well while you're there. And it's Good Games Podcast. And we have older episodes on there that you can listen to, as well as you can listen to this one. You can also listen to us on iTunes, where you can leave us a review. It's the best thing that you can do for us. Just let us know what you think of the show, whether you like it, whether you don't like it. Just let us know how we're doing. You can listen to us on Stitcher Radio, and you can basically listen to us where all podcasts are available to be listened to. I also want to encourage everyone that if you are at innercitygeeks.com, which you should be already, that you can click on the Amazon banner on the right-hand side of the page that you see there. And then when you click that, it'll take you to Amazon.com and go buy stuff that you were planning to buy already, because it's holiday season. Everything's in full swing. And Cyber Monday was this past week. But I don't know. It seems like Amazon's like, let's do Cyber 2 weeks, and just buy whatever it is that you wanted to buy. And when you do that, a little bit of that will come back towards us, so we can provide more show and more content just for you. You can reach us on all of the social media outlets, mainly Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, at innercitygeeks. The Twitter for this show is at Good Game Podcast, and you can also email us at goodgamespodcast@gmail.com. And that is going to about do it for this one. We're going to say goodbye, and thank you for listening. And leaving, as always, we say good games, everybody.
Good games.